Hello aspirants and welcome again to Legacy IAS Academy. In this lecture, we will be discussing about India's Sudarshan Chakra, and also we'll see how our Sudarshan Chakra makes our defense system, that is India's defense system, way better than that of Pakistan. So what is the news basically? The Pakistan basically attempted to target a lot of Indian air bases or military bases and various places. However, India's defense system thwarted any such attack by Pakistan. We completely neutralize all the threats coming from Pakistan on India. So subsequent to this, our defense system has come in news, of course, and we'll also see its comparison with that of Pakistan. So what we are talking about is the India's defense system named as the Sudarshan Chakra, which is actually the S400. So what is Sudarshan Chakra? If you go back in history, you will realize Sudarshan Chakra is that of Lord Krishna. And this Sudarshan Chakra was known for its precision, its speed, and destroying the evil from the world. And that is exactly what the name suggests, and that is exactly what it is actually doing. So what is actually it is, the Sudarshan Chakra we have named the S400 defense system as India's Sudarshan Chakra. So let us understand about this shield of modern India. So what is this? It is basically a long range surface to air missile. Surface to air missile, that means it will be on the surface, it will be stationed on the surface, and it will be firing in the air. So it plays a magnificent role, a very significant role in India's air defense system. So it's a long range, and the range is long. Over here we'll see it goes beyond 400 kilometers as well. Long range surface to air missile system it was developed by Russia, and India has procured it from Russia. There is some number of long range S400 yet to come, but few have already been purchased or received by India, and that is what we used in thwarting the Pakistan's attempted attack. Now moving ahead with respect to its capabilities, or before that we look at the components that are present in this particular system. So the components, if we talk about, each S400 will consist of 2 batteries and each equipped with 6 launchers. So each will have 6 launchers, and it will have a command and control system. Now this is not just we are not just talking about a missile or just a launcher or anything. It is an entire defense system in itself. That is why it is going to have the command and control area, it is going to have the missiles, it is going to have the launcher. All those things together constitute the S400 system. So it consists of 6 launchers, command and control system, surveillance radar, and as well as the engagement radar. So what is the difference between surveillance radar and engagement radar? The surveillance radar is for detection, the engagement radar is for tracking. So the entire defense system basically consists of detection, tracking, and basically interception. So the detection is done by the surveillance radar, the tracking is done by the engagement radar, then the decision making or the firing etc. through the control and command system, even the surveillance etc. And then you have the launchers to actually intercept the targets that are coming. So this all in all is the support system or the defense system. Now each battery can support up to 128 missiles, and 2 such batteries are present in S400. So it is quite capable. Let us now look at its detailed capabilities. So if you look at it, it can engage aerial threats at up to ranges of 400 kilometers and beyond as well, at an altitude of up to 30 kilometers. Now it uses 4 types of missiles to cover different threat distances: short range, medium range, long range, and very long range. So it will have 4 different kinds of missile: short range up to 40 kilometers, medium up to 120, long range up to 240, and very long range up to 400 kilometers as well. Now the system can track up to 160 targets. Remember, it has engagement radar, so it can track up to 160 targets, 160 multiple targets at a single instant of time it can track. and can engage up to 72 plus targets simultaneously. So if there are attacks of 72 different aircraft or 72 different UAVs, unmanned aircraft, drones, etc., it can engage with all of them at once. That is the power it holds. Now, how does this Sudarshan Chakra makes India's defense system better than Pakistan? Let us have a look. So since India's Sudarshan Chakra is of S400, let us understand what is the defense system that Pakistan is using. So Pakistan is using the HQ9 as against India's S400. So this HQ9 is developed by China, whereas S400 is developed by Russia. Important for your prelims. These factual things are important. Now, what are the maximum ranges? As we know, the S400, the name 400, it can go up to 400 kilometer with certain missiles in it. Now, this 400 is not the similarity of the 400 kilometers here. It depends on the missile you are using. If you use short range missile, it will be firing for a short range only. If you use very long range missile, it can go up to 400 kilometers as well. However, if you talk about HQ9, its range is just 200 kilometer, targets up to just 200 kilometer, that to one of its variant targets that. Moving ahead, if you talk about the radar and tracking capabilities, so HQ uses phased array radar, which is based on Russia's S-300, which was an earlier model, so an older model. So it is based on that and uses phased array radar. Whereas if you talk about S-400, it is equipped with modern, advanced, multifaceted, multifunctional phased array radar. It is also capable of detecting stealth aircraft and tracking up to 300 targets simultaneously. And also, this is very important, it can also detect stealth aircraft. What are stealth aircraft? Stealth aircraft are the aircraft that can go invisible to the radars. They might not be visible to the radars, meaning the radars would not be able to detect that. Such kind of aircraft can also be detected by S-400, hence making it definitely more capable over here. Now, as we move ahead, we'll see the differences even are more stark. So the types of target, if we talk about, so HQ9 is designed to engage aircraft, cruise missiles and ballistic missiles. However, S-400 can engage with a wider range of targets. Right? It can see HQ cannot engage with stealth aircraft simply because its radar is not able to detect stealth aircraft. Now, since S-400 can detect stealth aircraft, as a result of which it will have a wider range of engagement. It will engage with stealth aircraft as well as cruise missile, UAVs, ballistic missiles, etc., at varying speeds and altitudes. Major difference here is the stealth aircraft. Moving ahead, simultaneous engagement. So how many targets can simultaneously be engaged? So HQ9 has a very moderate range of engagement of around 9 to 10 targets it can engage with. Whereas when you talk about S-400, it can simultaneously engage with up to 80 targets. So 72 was the operational targets that it has been engaged, but theoretically it has designed to be engaging up to 80 targets, and it can track up to 300 targets as well. So this is majorly the difference between India's S-400 and Pakistan's HQ9. Now, if a very simple or probably kind of a funny example, if I give you to say why S-400 is way better, even after telling the entire factual details, one very funny example is that this HQ9, Pakistan has procured from China. Now, China itself, in fact, was the first buyer or purchaser of S-400 from Russia. What does that mean? That means that China itself, who has sold this HQ9 to Pakistan, has for themselves bought S-400. So this itself speaks volumes about it. Now, as far as the operational capacity is concerned, these are all the theories that we have gone through. If you talk about the utilization, which are the countries who have procured it? See, this HQ9, Pakistan has procured it and majorly used by China here and there in small skirmishes or deployed there. However, when it comes to S400, a lot many countries have purchased and deployed it, including Turkey, various other countries have utilized it, and its operational ability has been verified on the ground by these particular countries. And one important thing is that even China has purchased that. Now, when it comes to HQ9's capabilities, it has not been as such much demonstrated. And in fact, S400's capacity, India itself demonstrated one night back, wherein India completely neutralized all the threats that came from Pakistan. Thank you.